We are a volunteer based project, and we are open to anybody who feels they need help or support with reading, writing, basic maths or English language. That includes adults and children. We have volunteers come from all walks of life, and part of my job is to take new volunteer inquiries, introduce people to what we do here, and kind of try and partner up volunteers with the right students. And we would try and look to people's strengths. So if someone is particularly good at maths or has maths in their background, then we would try and use that volunteer for providing math support. If someone has more English language experience, or if they also have second language that could possibly help someone who's learning English as a second language, then we try and get a common sense kind of approach to what volunteers we put with what students. Likewise with children, sometimes mums are the most experienced people as far as helping little ones to read. So we welcome volunteers who have experience of working with children as a mum or parent or as a teacher or in some capacity that way. Also younger people. Some of our volunteers are still sixth formers. We try to provide one-to-one tuition as much as possible, and we keep records of a student's progress, so it's to make sure that all volunteers are aware of how to work with students and to keep tabs of their development and work out a plan of learning for them, and make sure that they're helping them in the right way. I also involved in promoting the project so that schools and local community services know about us. We also work out in the community in various other locations, community centres, libraries, doing various different sessions. So it's just making sure that people are aware of that if they can't make it to the exchange on a Tuesday and Thursday, there are other options for them out available. Students come for all sorts of different reasons. So after some time, some students progress to a level where they are looking to find a college course. So it's to make sure that I have those resources available, that I can give as much helpful advice in how they can take their studies further or access funding to do that, things like that really. And we like our volunteers to have lots of patience and be very understanding and encouraging of students, because regardless of why someone has come here or what their ability is or how they need help, it's very important that the student has a good experience of learning and isn't made to feel that they're getting things wrong or that they're stupid or that it's their fault, that they don't understand, because these are things that are probably why they're walking through our door in the first place, because they had this bad experience at school or in some other formal learning experience that hasn't been positive and has led them to be fearful of learning. It is small steps, but after a while those small steps build up, and all of a sudden the person is empowered in a way that they suddenly realise they can take much bigger steps, and that is a wonderful point to reach with anybody, whatever it is they're learning, and it is the student feels it's their achievement. So I think it's quite helpful for people to know that there is a place where they can do that without it costing them lots of money or it being a time limit on it, or anything it will be at their pace. It's not a course, there's not a rigid structure to how we teach people. We go at their pace and make sure everything is covered and go as far as they want to go as well. So I think that is also helpful to anyone who's coming to us for the first time, because it's up to them how far they go with it. So I think it's almost immediately from day one they're giving them responsibility for their learning, and that in itself is a positive The qualities you need to be a good volunteer at Turnaround essentially are that a desire to want to teach people, to help them improve their literacy and numeracy, but also the ability to be able to do that in a very patient, kind, gentle and encouraging way. There's no forcing anything here. We take things very slowly, step by step. Very important to encourage people every step along the way. You want someone who's conscientious and who notices that someone has made, because sometimes the steps are very small, but you have to notice them and you have to, take note of it so that you can help the person progress, so they don't stay stuck in one place or they don't miss out anything, that the person does move, progress in the right way. So eventually they will be empowered to take bigger steps because you've done all the fundamental steps beforehand. It eventually empowers someone to take much bigger leaps of in their development, and ultimately gives them the power to learn independently whatever they want to learn. So it's someone who can see the bigger picture, that this person is just maybe starting on a journey that you're not sure how far it's going, but that taking conscious with very small things has a big effect further along down the line, that you bothered to take that care to explain that very annoying thing about maths, or how sounds work, or how to remember certain rules about certain words that don't make any sense in the English language, and just little things that slowly build, or just the process of sitting and reading with someone each week, and then 3 to 4 months down the line, their reading is completely transformed. Just that you were able to sit there and prompt them when they needed prompting, not feel tempted to start reading for them, or let the person feel hurry up and get that word, but just being very in tune with the person who's learning. You can't force anyone to learn, it doesn't work. So just, people take their time, encourage people to feel calm and not anxious, because there's a lot of fear in some of the, especially when people come in for the first couple of sessions. So those first 2 sessions are very important, that the student feels comfortable. So we don't, we take things very slowly, very gently, maybe not even do too much in the first couple of sessions, but just so people kind of get to know each other. If you're someone who wants to help someone to learn to read, or to be able to improve their lives in that way, then you've got some kind of thing good going on inside you, because it's like being able, if you're able to do that, then you would want to share that with others. And if you are a patient, kind, gentle soul, then you probably will make a good tutor. For new volunteer inquiries, the process is that someone would come in for an informal interview where they'd find out more about the project. We'd find out more about them. The process involves an application form and a CRB check. And then we would maybe try and find out what the volunteers' experience is, whether they're more maths or English, or if they have English language skills. And maybe from them we'd be able to sort of identify what session would be good for them to come. We also have to try and coordinate with what time they can commit to. We also run sessions out in the community in various other locations, so it's a bit of coordination of where, depending on where the volunteer lives, or what kind of tuition they're more suited to providing, depending on where they might work. The rewards of being a volunteer become self-evident after a while, after you've been helping someone for a while, and you see the transformation in a person who might have had a lot of insecurity, lack of confidence, been very withdrawn, to not being like that. That's the reward for your conscientious patience and sitting with people week in, week out, is that you do see a transformation in a person, and it's a life-changing transformation. Like, you're giving something something to someone for life. We run workshops for children in the summer holidays. It's one of our other activities. It's a way of keeping people aware of we're here and what we do, and regularly means we can be putting leaflets out in libraries and to schools, so more and more people hear about the service. It's also a fun thing to do, especially for some of our regular children who are coming every week after school, and they're doing, working. They do work really hard over a year, so it's nice in the holidays. It's something different and it's a bit more fun, and you might get dressing up at Box Out, or do some role-playing games, or creative writing. It can be an inspiring day, and then it means children are more likely to want to come back and to carry on and work harder, and I don't know, it also builds a sense of community and family here, and more importantly, we always will get new children coming through the door if we do a workshop. So it's a great way for introducing people to the service, whether they continue to use the service regularly or just as browsing books, or they just want to be on the mailing list for activities. We also plan to deliver some maths games, activity days, and educational museum visits. There's lots of wonderful sites around these parts, and we also try to find out about other things that are going on in the local area and signpost people to anything else that might help them, especially literacy and numeracy. There are other little things going on in libraries and holidays, and try and kind of keep up with what's going on in Bromley, and we're connected to other voluntary sector organisations, and sort of try and promote ourselves that way through the community.